Greetings and welcome to this video about whether traveling to Canada in 2023 will be worthwhile. Those looking for greater possibilities and a high level of living have always flocked to Canada. There are some things you should think about before moving, though, given the current pandemic and other circumstances. We'll examine the many aspects in this video to help you choose whether moving to Canada in 2023 is worthwhile. Expenses of living. The cost of living is one of the most important things to think about considering relocating to Canada. In comparison to some other nations, Canada's cost of living is very high, particularly in its main cities like Toronto and Vancouver. The past few years have seen a steady increase in housing prices, and 2023 is likely to see this trend continue. The good news is that Canada's earnings are also high compared to other countries, which can help offset some of the higher prices. Job market. Another important aspect to think about before coming to Canada is the work market. The work market in Canada is comparatively steady and has been expanding recently. Though there are still some questions about how the pandemic will affect the economy in 2023, it has already had an effect on the labor market. The good news is that there are many career opportunities in Canada in a variety of industries, including healthcare, technology, and finance. Education. Another reason why many overseas students choose Canada is because of its top-notch educational system. The fact that tuition costs for overseas students might be fairly high should be taken into consideration if you're considering about studying in Canada. Yet, Canada has one of the best educational systems in the world, and it is one of the best destinations to pursue higher education. Healthcare. All Canadian citizens have access to healthcare thanks to the country's publicly funded healthcare system. The system is not flawless, though, and there are frequently lengthy wait times for some medical operations. However, not all medical services are covered by the publicly funded system. In order to access certain of these services, you may need to obtain private health insurance. Weather. Another thing to think about is the weather in Canada. Canada is a huge country, and depending on where you reside, the weather can vary greatly. In general, summers can be fairly hot and humid, and winters can be harsh, especially in the eastern regions. It could be hard to get adjusted to the Canadian winter if you aren't used to living in a colder climate. Culture. Finally, it's important to take Canadian culture into account. Canada is renowned for having a diverse population from all over the world and for being a nice and inviting nation. It's important to keep in mind, though, that there may be cultural variations depending on where you're from, and that adapting to Canadian culture might take some time. Conclusion. In conclusion, the decision to immigrate to Canada in 2023 will be based on your unique situation and preferences. Although there are numerous chances in Canada, you should be aware that there are some difficulties as well. It's crucial to conduct study, assess the advantages and disadvantages, and confirm that moving to Canada is the appropriate choice for you before making the decision. We hope that seeing this movie has given you the information you need to decide if moving to Canada in 2023 is worthwhile. I appreciate you viewing.